no matter what, your home games are important. So for us, come back home after a tough road trip, you want to have a good showing, and we got two hard games here. So look forward to tonight. And Pittsburgh's playing well. They're a good, solid team. So.
You guys look at the standings. You're 2 points out of first and 2 points out of this one's playoffs. That's pretty nuts, but on one end, it's kind of exciting, I suppose.
For sure, yeah. No, it's a log jam. I think it always is come this time, and you want to have a good feeling going into Christmas break. So these are real important games for us at this time, and you got to pick up points. So we did a great job of picking up points at the start of the year. We're going through a little bit of a tough time right now, so we got to continue to build our game and get back to where we want to be. Thanks. Yeah.
James, just wanted to ask you.
To getting another start against a club that you were lights out against? Does that matter to a goalie when you have had recent success?
Doesn't hurt. But saying that, it's a new game and they're a good team, and we want to get back on track here after a loss to St. Louis. So I think it's another good test for us back here at home.
The numbers would suggest that you haven't quite played to that level since. Do you think that's somewhat of a reflection of the team, or do you feel like there's a few things in your game that you want slightly tweaked moving forward?
Yeah, I think my game's been average, to be honest. I think it's been, looking back over the tape and the goals, they're not necessarily goals you'd say they're terrible goals by any means, but, to give your team a chance to win games, you got to make saves that, are difficult sometimes. And as of late, I haven't made enough, of the grade A saves, and need to make more of those in games, and especially when your team's fighting for every point counts. So Mikko's done an unbelievable job to hold us in there in the most games this year, and I want to get back on track tonight with the same.
Are you a guy that pores over a lot of video?
Not a ton. I don't overdo it, but I definitely there's times where you can look over your game tape and see things that maybe you need to work on, and little adjustments you can make to help your game out, and always trying to find ways to get better.
I imagine with your time in the league, you've worked with several goaltending coaches. What has Dustin Schwartz brought to the table? What ingredient has he added, or is there something that sticks out about him?
Yeah, I mean, Schwartz is an intense guy. I think we have a similar personality as far as the way we go about things, and the compete level and everything he does, he takes it pretty seriously. So I think it's it's a good thing. He's been great to work with. He's been very positive and very supportive of my game, and we're going to work hard all year long to give the team the best chance to win. And it starts with the goaltending, obviously.
Just your desire, Mike, to stay in the mix and keep this a competition, for that net every single night. Not, you were brought here to do that, and
yeah.
Just your desire to continue that.
Yeah, I think the main thing is you just can't, you get caught up sometimes when the team's not playing as well, and you're trying to do too much out there. And I think it's just about, sometimes taking a little bit of a step back and just worrying about things you can control. And the last few days in practice, that's what I've been, my mindset has been, and getting ready for this start tonight, and hopefully it'll be a good one.
You knew kind of ahead of time that of the back-to-backs, this would be yours. Like, how did Dave handle that with you guys and kind of give you a bit of a chance to prepare?
Yeah, I think for the majority of the season, the coaching staff's been great to let us know kind of the schedule and when we're going to play and stuff, so you have a chance to prepare a little bit. So I kind of had an idea I'll be, playing this game, and been preparing for it for the last few days. So hopefully it can up the game and have a good one tonight.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Maybe just a thought on your guys' kind of overall game. If you think that, it's kind of heading back in a direction overall detail-wise that you wanted it to.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, sorry. That Dallas game I thought was overall a really solid game for us. I mean, obviously we got some big stops as well, and it kept us that helped us keep the lead. But at the same time, we kept a lot of stuff to the outside. I mean, we played hard. Everybody was on the same page, and offensively we were creating chances. I still think that's an area of our game that we can improve on as we get going here. But I mean, still we created a lot more chances that game. And then St. Louis, it was just it was a hard-fought game too, and a lot of penalties. Mikko played outstanding. I mean, he kept us in the game the whole time, gave us a chance to come back, and it just came down to the end, not being able to find that last goal.
With the standing so tight, does this homestand take on a little playoff atmosphere?
Well, I mean, anytime you get a chance at home, you kind of have that mentality that you want to establish this as a tough building to come in, and you want to play with that intensity every night, whether it's a division team or, I mean, next two games are Eastern teams, but I mean these are two hard-fighting, hard-working teams that we're going to play. So it's going to be tough games, but I mean we're ready, and we can build off last game a little bit.
Looks like with a line shift, you end up with McDavid for tonight's game. If that's the way it goes, what do you think the coach would like to see from you guys? Obviously producing points, but what do you take from being in that spot?
Well, I mean, I think 5-on-5, we got to find a way to produce more, and I mean, definitely myself included in that. I mean, I got to find a way to be able to produce. I feel like there's been lots of chances here and there, but none have gone in the net. So I mean, it's about finding that, and so I mean, that's like I said before. I mean, we're going to focus on our 5-on-5, creating lots of chances. I think you'll see the D put a lot of pucks on net, and we'll be going hard to get those second, third opportunities and work from there. But got to keep the power play rolling too. But I think 5-on-5 is a big focus tonight.
As a team, it seems like the tighter you play defensively, the less you score 5-on-5. Do you need to figure out how to be tidy in your own zone, but still score enough to win here?
Yeah, for sure. And maybe it's a little bit about simplifying things, because when you're playing so tight in the D zone, I mean, a lot of times they're on the outside so they can recover pucks quicker. But a lot of times it's just about getting those pucks up quick and getting on the forecheck, establishing that part of our game. And we got to do that right from the start. I mean, Dallas, even St. Louis was better starts. They're two better starts than we've had in the past little while. So got to keep improving on that and find a way to play a full 60 night.
What's the biggest challenge this weekend, having a back-to-back at home or playing at 5 on a Saturday?
Yeah, we did that last week or the week before against Toronto too. So on a back-to-back, it's not too bad, because you get to sleep in a little bit, and you just kind of go through a normal day routine. So it won't be too difficult for us. And I mean, back-to-backs nowadays, I mean, you have all the opportunity to get a good sleep, you get good nutrition, and I mean, you don't have to go skate or anything in the morning. So we should have lots of energy.
You've done it before, but just the idea of shifting to the wing and playing on a line with Connor, kind of how those two things mix for you?
Yeah, I mean, I did get a chance to do that a little bit last year, a little bit the year before. So, I mean, I'll have to adjust a little bit maybe tonight, but it shouldn't be too big of an adjustment. Obviously, I mean, I know how fast Connor is, so I got to expect that. I mean, it's a little different, especially you get the puck on the wing, and he's taken off for sure. So I mean, always got to have that in my mind, but also not force too much out there.
Ryan, what do you know about Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah, I mean, outstanding year from this year. We just got to meet him, so it was pretty cool to meet him. And he's got a bowl game coming up too, so it's cool that he gets to come out here, drop the puck for us tonight. But I mean, yeah, led the NCAA in rushing, so it's pretty outstanding from an Alberta Edmonton kid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Hopkins maybe gets a look on the McDavid line. Just your thought process on shifting Ryan to the wing and what you're looking for?
Just continue to look for a little more 5-on-5 play if we can. You know, we had the 3 centers going on the 2 road trips and or the 2 games on the road trip. Pushed to find something in the third period in St. Louis. We switched it up a little bit, but just coming into these 2 games at home here, just trying to find some more 5-on-5 production throughout our group, trying to maximize each player how best we can.
What have you seen from Nugent Hopkins? And I know he was a little banged up this year, but 5-on-5.
Really, it's dependent who he's with a little bit. You know, we've had him. You know, the last 2 games he's down in the 3 hole, and then we're playing a real tight defensive game. His defensive game is fine, but I think there's more to give there on the offensive part, 5-on-5. So that's what we're looking for tonight.
Dave, just a couple for me. You had a couple 2-1 games after that stretch where the scores were a little higher. Is there a big contrast in how you guys played, or did just the pucks not?
I think it's a number of things. We had a little more focus on defending, and Koskinen was really good in both games, so there was a number of things that came in. You know, we got the early lead in Dallas and played I thought, a pretty sound game. It was a little frantic the last couple of minutes, and they pulled their goalie that we gave up the one kind of on a bad bounce, but for the most part, we defended hard, tried to be real sound and not give many outnumbered breaks and stuff like that. So there was some progress made from the last few games there. But that being said, now you gotta find a way to play a complete game. A little more 5-on-5 scoring would help.
3 and 4 for you guys before the 3-day Christmas break. From talking to coaches and athletes and doing interviews over the years, I've heard everything from loved games at Christmas, so much energy, everybody's happy, to distractions with family around and got to finish my shopping. What's your...
I'm into that. I love games around Christmas when you're on the road. So, but we were away all week. We got home. We had a day off yesterday, and you got 2 games, like 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock. You're going to be right immersed in it, so there's not much time to do anything else. So yesterday they had a day off to get some stuff done, but today we're back into it, and we got these 2 games are both good teams, and we got to play well if we want a chance to win.
Dave, you've had pretty good success when you make your decisions on which goalie's going. Obviously, you had back-to-back. So what's the reasoning for Mike tonight and Mikko tomorrow?
Mikko played 2 really strong games on the road. We were late getting in on Thursday, and we're going to have to split them with a 7 o'clock and a 5 o'clock tomorrow. They're going to split anyway, so it's just a matter of which game each guy gets. The last game that Mike played very well was in Pittsburgh against them, so we'll put him in against Pittsburgh, and Kosk will go against Montreal tomorrow.
At some length, can you compare your first year in Dallas and your first year in Phoenix to so far this year?
Different atmospheres. You know, the Canadian market versus an American market to start with is that's different. In Dallas, I was a young coach, my first opportunity. You're jumping in there with a veteran team, lots of high-end talent, and expectations were very high, which as a coach you enjoy that. In Arizona, lots of question marks about the franchise and going in there in a bankrupt team and trying to figure out how to win with what you had and a limited payroll. And you come here and it's lots of enthusiasm to get better. The Canadian market with the passion of the fans, the ability to work with Ken Holland and the team here, a team that's young and has the ability to really grow. So the thing here is, since the first day where I looked at this, is it's the ability for this group to grow. And I think there's lots and lots of potential here with this group, but we have to continue to embrace that feeling that we have to grow and try to get better every day. And we have to foster some of our players to get to where they are now, to get to them to a level that they can play, decent minutes on a real good team. So there's some growth that has to be undertaken here, but there's lots to work with here, and it's been so far, pretty good. Like there's always, you're always looking for more and looking for ways to get better, but so far, good group to work with, and they're willing to engage in the learning process, which is, from a coaching standpoint, that's good to see.
Do you, can you explain why you've had, why your first year in both Dallas and Phoenix were, and to this point, I guess, so successful?
I have no idea. You go in and you try to just do whatever you can with the players. Sometimes I think you could probably say that in a lot of places where coaches come in the first year, there's a change of just a different voice sometimes helps, you know, but you go in and try to do what you can, and I'm a big believer you see what you have to work with and you try to mold that group into finding ways to win. And we're doing that here with the thought process that we're trying to mold this team to win consistently year after year, not just trying to have a bump one year.
Dave, as a coach, you have to walk a fine line with David's lines on the ice for that goal. There's so much offense, but when they make a mistake, puck ends up in the net. You have to walk a fine line and say, okay, they give us so much offense, sometimes they're going to make a mistake defensively, and what I'd be saying the same thing happened to the Jets.
No, we addressed the mistakes. That goal was addressed this morning because it looks like, when you just look at that goal, it looks like Connor was late getting back and getting his man. There was a pile of issues before that occurred. On the rush read, Draisaitl should have went over instead of Nurse on the wall. When he doesn't go there, it goes to the back, and that would have left Nurse in front of the net. It goes to the back of the net. Bear could have got beat by O'Reilly behind the net. In the meantime, Draisaitl had come back and swung through the slot. Cassian had swung through the other way, and McDavid was the last guy, last-ditch effort to try to get the guy. So there was lots of issues before that were all talked about this morning. So we address all those problems, whether they're top guys or other guys, because there are things that make your team better. There are issues that have come up time and time again, and I'm a big believer in repetition. Like you just don't say once, oh, you know, stop in front of the net and everything's good. If you just said that once and they keep doing it, you're not getting better, right? So we address all those things. That being said, they bring, like, the offensive part of the game. There's guys that, the lower guys in the lineup, we're looking for them to do more things offensively. When you come in and don't beat somebody or don't try to beat somebody or make a poor play, we're pushing those guys to get better. That's a mistake, just like the mistakes defensively. So we're trying to push everybody to get better, whether you're a top offensive player or a good penalty killer or whatever it may be.
If you've got a player like McDavid, does he need a defensive forward on his line? And would that be another reason why Nugent Hopkins would be playing with him?
No, it's more about making plays. It's more about getting people to make plays. And what you try to do as a coach, you're always trying to gauge where your team's at. And there's some players that go on a little bubble and then they go down a little bit. And you're trying to grab every one of those players and get them at the top to try to maximize what they do. Now, there's some guys you're trying to get to that bubble. So Nuge has been a little stagnant here 5-on-5. We're hoping he can make some plays with Connor. He's not, we didn't come in this morning and say Nuge is a better defensive player, that's why he's going there. That's not the reason. We're trying to get a balance between defense and offense there. So Nuge has played a little bit there before. I'd like to keep Dry going on his own line and see if we can keep that pushing. That line, actually, the 2 games on the road was all right. So we're trying to get some balance in there a little bit. But you're always trying to find ways to get more production out of people or better play out of people. And there's people that they get to that top and then they start to go down. So you're trying to find somebody to maximize that production. That's what coaching is.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.
Just how does it feel to be here and being recognized at the game and the Oilers doing this for you?
This is, I keep saying it's crazy. Obviously, it's a blessing. I never would have pictured myself being in this, in this situation. Obviously, I dreamed of it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a blessing to be here.
What have you thought? This is your first ever Oilers game. How does a kid from Edmonton/Sherwood Park not see an Oilers game?
I mean, I've watched plenty of Oilers games, but I just haven't been able to get the chance to actually watch one, which is unfortunate. But I remember, I really don't remember the correct date, but I think it was the Stanley Cup. We were playing Carolina. I think that was the last time we went. That's probably when I was like the craziest Oilers fan. I wanted to see him then really bad, but I wasn't able to. But just to be here is awesome. So.
I understand you got to talk to the players. What was that like? Usually they're the ones doing the talking, but you were holding court.
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling them it's crazy. I'm actually meeting you guys and stuff like that. Watch you guys on TV, and you guys are big stars, and just to see them in person is crazy.
They know about you though.
Which is.
They're a football room. Guys like Darnell and Sam were talking about just what you've been able to accomplish. A kid from northern Alberta, down south.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just blessed, and for them to actually know me and acknowledge me is amazing. Guys of that high stature.
What did you think when Gretzky started communicating with you, whatever the word is?
I was at loss of words, to be honest. The great one to even, I said, mark my words, I said, even know what a chuba is, was crazy. So for him to, like I said, just know who I am and, know what I'm doing was an honor.
You've really put yourself, on the map football, but obviously you're not done. Have you thought at all about next year? Is the focus just right now still on the bowl game?
Yes, it's really just on the bowl game. Right now it's kind of premature, all the NFL draft stuff. I've said quite a bit. I'm just kind of taking it day by day and seeing where it goes from there.
You look back on this year, obviously one of the best seasons ever, and you still have a chance to make it even better for yourself. What's allowed you to have such a jump in production and be among the elite of the elite?
I think just probably consistent, consistent hard work, just keeping at it every day. Obviously, when I came in, I think I was like the bottom of the depth chart, but I just kept working. We have a lot of great resources at Oklahoma State. My family was there for me. There's a lot of things that factor into it, but also just I'm on a great team. I got people that, help me along the way. We have great O-line and all types of stuff like that. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that factor into it.
If you were going to play hockey, what position would you be? What type of player?
I think center. I like kind of being in control and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Did you ever grow up on skates, or did you ever play at all as a kid?
All your buddies probably my friend was over there. They used to laugh. I can't stop very well, but once I get going, I can get going pretty good. So, yeah.
How much attention did you pay to the Heisman discussion and even the Lou Marsh Trophy here in Canada? A lot of people thought you should have been maybe considered more heavily for those.
The Lou Marsh, I saw stuff on that. Actually, I didn't know too much about it, to be honest. But I really try not to pay attention to that stuff too much. I just try focusing on the season, winning games, and all the accolades and the stuff after that are obviously blessing and honor to be even in that discussion. But I try not to focus too much on that.
What's your schedule here? I mean, obviously you've got a game on the 27th. Do you have to be back before Christmas? Or?
I leave tomorrow. Tomorrow. I got here yesterday.
Is that mostly for this thing?
So I was coming home. I was just going to see my family before Christmas, drop some stuff off for them, and just kind of have like a quick little early Christmas and stuff like that. And the Oilers said I could come to the game and stuff, and I was like, I'm definitely going home now. So it's awesome being here.
Has it changed for you in terms of walking around at home, walking around the mall, like you getting lots of people recognizing you, and is that?
Yeah, definitely. It's honestly crazy that people kind of see me as kind of famous, I guess you could say. I remember the one day I was just driving and I look over to the left and someone's taking a picture, and I was like, what? So it's definitely been crazy. This was actually last time I was home, so in May, and so it's just I'm honored to be in this position, and I'm happy I can represent Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Alberta, and even Canada. So.
Did you notice? Have you been in town long enough to even get a reaction from, I mean, you were starting to get known, but you weren't over the top famous when you left.
Yeah, I mean, when I was coming on my flight here, someone stopped me. I was like, "Are you Chuba?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it's honestly just crazy, and crazy how fast life can change and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm just blessed to be in this position.
I talked to a few people that said there were an inordinate amount of people that showed up down in Stillwater for that last game against the Sooners. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, this whole season I've had family and friends and just people that have been supporting me come down to games, and see that Canadian flag in the stands and stuff. So it's been awesome, to actually have people come down and watch the game and get a feel for it. So yeah, I've definitely felt the support from my friends and family.
You had a kick-ass bowl game the last time you were in one. Do you compare it to this situation? That's a tough team you're playing.
Yeah, Texas A&M is a great team. Obviously, SEC is known for being one of the top conferences. But for me, I just kind of take each game as it is. It's football, so I prepare the same for everyone, and hope to help my team get a win.
I think yesterday, I'm not sure, but I think it was yesterday that it became official that you were a unanimous All-American. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what day that was either, but yeah, I saw that, and like I said, it's just a testament to our team and all the support around me. I'm blessed to be in this position, and football is a team sport, so I wouldn't be able to do it without all my teammates.
What kind of a team do you think you got next year if you do come back?
An even better team than this year. Yeah, no, I'm taking that day by day, but we're a real young team, so obviously this season we've had some ups and downs, but yeah, a lot of those guys are young and they'll only get better. So
what's the reaction been like down there? Canadian kid coming down and getting all of the headlines and getting all the attention. I mean, what's that been like to adapt to?
One, being Canadian, also running track. They're not quite sure how well Canadians can play football, and if I was just a track guy. So at first, people would probably, most definitely, kind of hesitant, to see what I can do. And for me, I'm just someone that wants to work hard every day and do my best for my family and even my country. So I just stuck with it, kept working, and it's paid off.
You said you didn't take the Heisman as a slight. You took it in stride and said, oh well. What made you say that?
I mean, there's amazing players all over the country. Even to be in that conversation is crazy. So for me, like I said, is a blessing to even be in that talk. But all those awards and stuff, if you focus on them too much, you're gonna lose sight of what really matters. And I'm there for my family and all that, so I didn't try to focus on that too much.
How many people are coming to the game tonight?
They did a great job. They allowed me to take quite a bit of my family and stuff, so we'll probably have 8 of us there. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.